Hello, my name is Bogdan and I'm a physicist. My goal is to construct together with you an intuitive and easy to understand model of nature that would explain all the things we observe and know about the universe so far. Thank you for being here with me on this journey. In today's episode, we will explore an interesting topic regarding the scientific method, which is the process we use to develop our theories about nature in physics. The scientific method is the best process humanity has come up with so far in order to understand and explain how nature works. What makes this method so unique is the fact that it's very easy to follow, to understand, and it's applicable to basically any field. So, are you ready to become a scientist? Well, all you need to do is make an observation, start asking some questions about this observation, then make a hypothesis that would be a testable explanation for the observation you made, make some prediction that would mean what other observations should happen in case my observation is true, and go out and test it. Look for the results of your conclusion. Of course, there are some other steps like data analysis and replication by different groups in order to discard any experimental errors or placebo effect or biased conclusions. But in the nutshell, the scientific method is a very simple and straightforward process. And one of the most important things that scientists do when evaluating their observations and predictions is to get as much of experimental data as possible in order to be able to test or falsify their theory or their hypothesis without cherry picking data. Once you complete this process successfully, you basically have your own physics theory or theory of nature. One peculiar thing about our scientific theories is that even after the validation, we never stop testing them. We always conduct new experiments with more extreme conditions or new setups in order to see if they fail. It's like we want them to fail. And indeed we do. You see, in physics, for example, we know that none of the theories we came up so far with about the universe are correct. None of them. The standard model, our crown jewel of physics, general relativity, throw both out the window. Burn your physics books, nothing is correct. Actually, hold on for a minute. Let's take a step back and try to understand what physics theories really are. They are our way to isolate certain phenomena from nature in order to study and understand them, and then stitch them back together to create a bigger picture and see if our predictions emulate nature well enough. And this is a very important concept. We know that our theories will fail at certain spatial or energy scales where they stop working or stop explaining actual observations that we make. So, why do we keep doing science and working on theories if we know they are going to fail in the end? Well, it's because they are good enough. You see, every theory we have about nature is a good enough approximation for a wide enough class or category of observations in order to be useful in everyday life. For example, Newtonian mechanics was first used to send rocket ships and people out in space. Well, if it's good enough for rockets, it's good enough for me. You don't need general relativity or special relativity for that particular goal. So why build these theories then, if they're not needed? Well, it's because, for example, orbiting satellites around the Earth do have to compensate for effects like time dilation due to their high velocities or the gravitational field difference between up there and down to Earth, without which the global positioning system would have very large error margins. For example, if we didn't compensate for the time dilation effect, which is a relativistic effect, the global coordinates would drift about 11 kilometers per day, which would make the GPS system very unreliable and unusable for us. This is why we think that every theory has its applications and as well as its limits. And our jobs as scientists is to stress test those limits and find the breaking point of our theories. Where do we need to stop using one theory and start building or using a different theory? You could say that science makes progress by trying to always disprove its own theories. And this would be a true statement. Science is never correct. It always improves and comes closer to the truth by searching and fixing its own flaws. I do think that this is a humbling experience to admit that no matter how much you search, you may not hold the truth. But at the same time, it's cathartic or even ecstatic experience to see nature unfold its secrets little by little before you and always get a little closer to the truth. I will leave you with this thought today. Is physics a cat and mouse game in which new observations require new theories, as well as new theories require new experiments and observations to test them in a never ending loop? And I would like to hear your opinion in the comments section. Do you think we will ever build a theory that will explain all the observations we will ever make about nature? And in case we do, can we claim this theory to be correct for the first time in history? Thank you for being here with me today. Have a great week.